Hello and welcome to this AutoGen course. Chances are you have heard the word AutoGen or AI agent somewhere, maybe on Twitter, maybe in a YouTube video. And honestly, it probably sounded interesting, but also confusing. Like, okay, people say it's powerful, but where do you even start? If that is you, just relax. You're exactly in the right place. In this course, we are going to build everything from scratch. This course is divided into 5 carefully structured modules, and each module builds on the previous one. And if you're also interested in technologies like AutoGen, AI agent, and intelligent automation, you might want to check out the professional certificate program in generative AI, machine learning, and intelligent automation by the IHFC Technology Innovation Hub of IIT Delhi, powered by Simplilearn. This 11-month live program is designed to help professionals build real expertise in generative AI, machine learning, and automation through hands-on learning. The program also includes a 2-day campus immersion at Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, and offers a completion certificate along with Microsoft Learn badges. If you are looking to strengthen your career in AI and intelligence system, this program is definitely worth exploring. So hurry up, check the course, the link is in the description. So without wasting any time, let us see the very first module, which is what is this AutoGen? Now imagine you're trying to write a small Python program. You open ChatGPT and say write a program script to calculate the average of a list. It gives you some code. You copy it, run it, and then boom, there's an error. Now you go back, paste the error, ask again, fix it, run it again. So you're basically acting as the middleman between the AI and your computer. This is how most of us use AI today. Now here's where AutoGen changes the game. With AutoGen, instead of one AI, you create 2 very simple AI agents. The first agent's job is only to write code. The second agent's job is to only check and test that code. You give them one instruction. For example, write a code to calculate the average and make sure it works. That's it. The first agent writes the code and second agent runs it and says, this is throwing an error. The first agent fixes it. The second agent tests it again. They keep talking to each other until the code finally runs without the issue. Now you just saw what happens. This is the core idea behind AutoGen. Now, AutoGen is an open source framework created by Microsoft Research, and it lets you create these small AI agents, each with a specific job. The word agent might sound complex, but it simply means an AI with a specific role. One writes, one checks, and one tests. That's it. Now, once you see this, a lot of things start clicking. AutoGen exists because AI doesn't need to work alone anymore. Instead of asking one AI to do everything perfectly in one shot, you let multiple AIs work together, catch each other's mistake, and improve the result. That's much closer to how real work gets done by human as well. And this idea goes way beyond coding. The same pattern works for summarizing long documents, replying to emails, or analyzing data. One agent does the main work, another reviews it, and the system refines itself. Meaning you move from AI gives me an answer to AI completes the entire task. If you have ever felt that AI is powerful but still needs too much hands-holding, that's exactly the problem AutoGen is trying to solve. And in this course, you are not just going to hear about this idea, you're actually going to build it yourself step by step from the scratch. So what is this AutoGen in a nutshell? At its core, AutoGen is about creating multi-agent conversation, meaning instead of one AI trying to do everything, you have multiple AI agents communicating with each other and getting work done together. Each agent has a small responsibility and they collaborate just like a real team would do. Now, AutoAgent is an open source framework created by Microsoft Research, and it's kind of designed to make this kind of collaboration possible in a clean and a structured manner. So this was all for the very first module in which we have understood what is AutoGen. So now without wasting any time, let us move to module 2, which is installations. So alright, now that we understand what is AutoGen and why it matters, let's move into a practical part, setting up everything onto your system. Now don't worry, this is not complicated. I will walk you through it step by step, and if you follow along calmly, you will have AutoGen running in just a few minutes. Now, before we install anything, let us quickly talk about the system requirement. So first of all, you will need a Python installed onto your machine. Now, AutoGen works best with Python 3.9 or above, so make sure you're not using a very old version. You can simply open your terminal or command prompt and type in Python version. Say, for example, I'll just go here, I'll type CMD, I'll open it, I will like, okay. So it is showing me that Python is installed and it is version 3.13.12. And if Python is not installed, just download it from the official Python website. You can go here and download your Python for Windows. Anyways, I'll be providing all the links in the description, so don't worry. Now, before we install AutoGen, there's one small but important thing I would recommend: using a virtual environment where your AutoGen agent will be created. Now, if that term sounds technical, don't worry. A virtual environment is simply a separate workspace for your project. You can think of it like creating a small isolated box where all the libraries for the project will be live. That way, whatever we install here won't affect other Python projects on your system. You can create one directly from your terminal or command prompt. So basically, to create the virtual environment, this is the code. I'll just copy it. I'll go on to my VS Code. I have made one a folder named AutoGen, and I will just paste this code here. Okay, and I'll just put enter. So Python was not found. Okay, by M V C auto. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, that for some users Python will work, but for some you will have to use PU. Okay. So here everything is installed. You can see all the libraries and the files are installed here, right? So this has created a virtual environment. Okay, so this will create a folder named AutoGen NV that will contain all your isolated Python setup. Now after that, you just need to activate it. On Windows, you just run the command and activate it inside the script folder. Fine. So now that we have downloaded everything, we have to activate. So for activation, this is the link for Windows. I'll copy and I'll paste it here. Okay. Now, technically, this step is optional. You can install AutoGen globally onto a system also. I would recommend using a virtual environment is a very good habit. It avoids dependency conflict later, especially when you start building more AI applications. Okay. Now, once Python is ready, installing AutoGen is actually very simple. AutoGen is available through pip, which is a Python's package manager. So in your terminal, you just run pip install command for AutoGen, and within second, it will start the download. So I'll write pip install AutoGen. So it is downloading all the AutoGen dependencies. And that's not a complicated setup, I'm assuming. So no manual configuration, just one command and you're good to go. Now, depending on which language model you're planning to use, for example, OpenAI API or local model, you may also need to install additional dependencies if you're using OpenAI's model for API key. So you will need the OpenAI package and an API key. That API key will be stored as an environment variable so your project can securely access it. But we will be creating the project with Ollama, which I will discuss in brief in the next module why. Now, after installation, it's always a very good habit to quickly verify if everything is working. So we'll create a small test script and import AutoGen and run a simple example just to confirm that your environment is properly configured if it runs without error. Okay. So first of all, it will be downloaded. Just give it a few seconds. Okay, fine. It is downloaded, I guess. Okay. So after that, I have created one more this AutoGen folder just to save time. So you'll just create a main.py, okay, and inside that we'll just run this program just to see if everything is working or not, which I'll be discussing later in the modules. So now I would suggest take your time with this part, pause the video if needed, set everything properly, and once your environment is ready, we will move ahead and start exploring how AutoGen actually works behind the scene. So basically, we'll be creating agent in the next module. Okay, so I'm assuming you guys have already installed AutoGen requirement. Let's create our very first AI agent. So usually there are two main ways to build AI agents with AutoGen. The very first way is by using an API key. In this method, you just connect your agent to an online model provided by companies like OpenAI or others. Your system sends requests over the internet to them and the model responds back. This approach is simple and powerful, but it depends on API uses and token. So mostly it exhausts most of the time. Now, what is Ollama? Ollama is a tool that allows you to run large language model directly onto your computer. Now, instead of connecting to a cloud service using an API key, the model runs locally on your machine. So the difference is very simple. With an API key, the model runs in the cloud. With Ollama, the models run onto your system. So in our case, we are choosing Ollama because it has got several benefits with it. it doesn't require an API key, which is very obvious because it runs locally. There are no token limits, again, because of the local system. And you can work offline also. So it doesn't require the internet connection to be there. And you won't run into a quota limits or billing interruptions. So fine. So for downloading Ollama, you just go here, and here you can see your download button. You can just start download, and just to check if the Ollama is downloaded, go to your CMD, okay, and just type in Ollama version. So I have already downloaded the Ollama, so that is why it is showing me this version. So you guys also can pause the video for a while and you can download it. Okay, now the next part is I want you all to open your VS Code and install this Ollama thing. And after that, you can also install from the website or through this code. Okay, so now that we have installed everything, we have Ollama running locally and AutoGen is also installed. Now let us actually create our first AI agent and connect it to Llama 3 model running onto your machine. Okay, so for the same, I have written this code and I'll explain what we are actually doing in here. So this file is where everything finally comes together. What we are doing here is creating the very first AI agent and connecting it into model running onto your machine. At the top, we import a few things. We import a because we want our program to handle responses smoothly without freezing. Then we import assistant agent. Here you can see from AutoGen. This is actually AI agent we are going to create. Now think of it like creating a digital assistant that can think and respond. We also import console here, which simply helps us display the responses nicely in the terminal as it is being generated. Now instead of waiting for the full answer, and then we import Ollama chat completion client, which you can see here. This is what connects AutoGen to Ollama. Without this, our AutoGen wouldn't know how to talk with Llama 3 model running locally. So this Llama 3 model, you'll just go to your CMD, okay, and here you will put Ollama pull Llama 3. I mean, whatever model which you like to use from Ollama, just write Ollama pull Llama 3 and it will automatically get it downloaded from here. Now next, moving to the main function, we create something called as model client, which is here. This is where we tell AutoGen which model to use and where it is running. We specify model name such as in our case is Llama 3, and this must exactly match the model you downloaded using Ollama pull Llama 3. Then we provide the host address to this one, which is a default address where Ollama runs on your system. So basically we are saying whenever the agent needs an answer, send the request to this local Llama 3 model. After that, we actually create the agent. We name it as assistant. Okay. We connect it to the model client and give it a system message. Okay. So system message is you are a helpful AI agent. That system message is like its personality or instruction. Here we tell it you are a helpful AI assistant, and if we have changed that line into something else, that behavior of the agent would change too. Now finally, we give the agent a task using assistant run stream. This one. Task is I'm asking question, what is AutoGen? The console wrapper ensure that the console appears in a streaming format inside the terminal, meaning we can see the answer being generated in real time at the bottom. This one, asynco.main, run.main. So in simple term, what we did is we connected AutoGen to a locally running Llama, created an AI agent, gave it a personality, assigned it a task, and streamed the response, all without using an API key. Now everything is running locally onto your system machine, and this right here is foundation of everything we are going to build next, including multi-agent system, which we'll be talking in the next module. So if I go here, terminal, I'll just click here. It will again take some time, so you guys need to wait. Okay, so make sure guys that whenever you're running this program, your file should contain this AutoGen env. For this, if it is not showing, you can just activate it. So I'll just run it. So wait for a while. Yeah, so you can see the text message, what is AutoGen, and this Llama 3 with the help of this AutoGen will reply to this text message. Just wait for a while, it will take hardly 2 to 3 minutes. Anyways, it's taking a lot of time. So after this, what is AutoGen the question? This AI will respond with an answer of what is AutoGen. Okay, so you can just try it once and it will run. Okay, so here you will get a paragraph stating what is AutoGen. So now we are done with the very first module of creating an AI agent using AutoGen. Now let us move to the next module, which is creating multi-agent conversation. Like we'll be creating more than one AI agent and we'll see how these two talks. Okay. So now if we look at the image here, it visually demonstrates how multi-agent collaboration works inside the AutoGen. At the center of the diagram, we can see a problem-solving task. This represents the main objective or the problem that needs to be solved here. Okay. In traditional AI system, one model might try to handle the entire task on its own. However, in a multi-agent system like AutoGen, the task is addressed by multiple agents that communicate within each other. Now, on the left side of the diagram, we can see a assistant agent which acts as the AI assistant. So this agent is typically powered by a large language model and is responsible for generating solution and reasoning about the problem. Okay, so write Python code or generate a solution or suggest improvement. So for example, if the problem involves analyzing data, performing calculation or processing information, the assistant can generate a Python code for the same to solve it. After the code runs, the assistant can also review the results and refine the solution if necessary. So this makes the assistant agent responsible for main reasoning and problem solving part of the workflow. So on the right side of the screen, we can see here is user proxy agent, which represent the human user or an interface that acts as a behalf of the user. This agent essentially acts as a bridge between humans and the AI system. So it can receive message from assistant agent and decide how to respond. The image highlights now two important capabilities of the user proxy agent, which is automatic mode and human input. In automatic mode, the user proxy agent can automatically execute code that is generated by the assistant when it detects executable code block in the conversation, right? Now, this allows the system to perform tasks like running the code automatically or asking for human inputs and then send the message. Now, at the same time, the agent can also request the human input whenever needed. For example, now a decision is required for confirmation or additional instruction. The system can pause and ask the user for the guidance. So, this flexibility allows AutoGen system to operate either fully autonomously or with human intervention. The arrow, which you can see is labeled as send message over here, is illustrate the communication flow between the agents. So in AutoGen, agents collaborate through structured conversation. A typical interaction might begin when the user proxy agent sends a task description to the assistant agent. The assistant agent then analyzes whatever the request has come and generate a response, which could include reasoning, proposed solution, or any code. So the user proxy agent can then execute the code, capture the results, and send the output back to the assistant agent. So based on those results, the assistant may refine the solution, fixed error, improvement. So this iterative back and forth conversation continues until the task is successfully completed. At the bottom of the diagram, we can see that three important characteristics that is highlighted is conversible and customizable AI agents, fully automated, and adapt and improve solutions. So when you'll come here is AutoGen workflow. So this is writer agent. So we'll be writing a code for the same. So this is the writer agent, which is generate explanation. This is a reviewer agent. We are using Llama 3, the one which we were using previously. This is a reviewer output. And this agent is the work of creating content, and this agent reviews whatever this agent has created. Okay. Now, if we look at the code here is, we'll run this code in the VS Code. Firstly, I would like to explain you the code. This is again the same import asynco, which we already discussed in the previous module. Then it is using this to handle tasks asynchronously so that they can run in the background. We have created this async def main to connect local Llama using AutoGen Ollama client. We have defined two writers and reviewers. So the writer's agent work is, you are a writer, write a short explanation about AutoGen, right? And this is a reviewers, run the code and review. You are a reviewer. We are setting the performance task as a reviewer. So this will basically review the task. So critique and improve the writer's output. And then again, right in the end, write the output. So this block of the code, which will run the main function when the script is executed directly. Okay, now we have understood what is multi-agent collaboration. We'll go to VS Code here. So this is the same code I was talking about. I explained. Now before that, I guess, so this was the output which was taking time. So, so this is the code I was talking about. Now, if we will run it, writer's output you will get is what is AutoGen, and the reviews output you will get, here's a rewritten version. So if any changes are there in like writer's output, the reviewer will get the changes and make sure that the content, whatever is published and whatever goes to the human, to us, is well refined and is good to go. So you see that human intervention is completely not here. So they two again will both talk and will provide the best script as possible. So this was the agent. I'll share all the code files with you in the description, so you just don't worry. But I want you all to pause the video while I'm performing the task, and you also should do it hand to hand with me. Now we will see the complete deployment using VS Code. So for the same, go to your VS Code and create a file under that same AutoGen folder, app.py. So here's your app.py and write this code. I'll explain the code, what it does. Okay, so you can see here's the code. I'll zoom in. So this from Fast API, import Fast API, it will create Fast API app. So start a Fast API to handle whatever HTTP request which we'll be sending. It is used to handle that. So this is that same chart completion which we have seen earlier. This model is Tiny Llama. I would suggest you to just run this a particular line of code, Olama pull Tiny Llama. So this is Olama pull Tiny Llama, your CMD, because of the storage. This is a small model, so it will be installed easily. So this connects to a local Tiny Llama AI using AutoGen Olama client. So here define the agent, what the agent is supposed to do. So create an AI agent that replies hi to any query. Okay. Then what is this app.get? It is used to handle chat request. So it defines an endpoint that takes a user query and always responds with hi, hello, or something like that. So first of all, you will have to create an API file, which in our case is app.py. Then Olama should run. We have already installed the Olama, that should run. And then in the VS Code, you just copy this command. Okay, I'll run it. Okay, so you have like we are in this folder. I'll just copy paste this and I'll just run it, and I'll just wait for a while. See, everything is running on the port. Every info will be there, and go to this link then. Okay, application start complete. We'll just wait for a while for the process to complete. So anyways, I'm going on to a Chrome. I'll be just pasting this thing. Okay, it's not found yet. Wait for a while. Yeah. So I'm just opening this Fast API. Go to this chat and go to this try it out. Write hi. What was the code? Response to any message. Yeah. Reply only hi. So I have said this system messages reply only with hi no matter what the user says. I'll go here. I'll write hello. And then I'll put on to this execute. It's loading. Just wait for a second. So why I'm particularly going, the response is high. So no matter ever we will put here, the response will always be high. So the reason why I'm using this Fast API URL is that sometimes when you will normally copy paste this code, well, you will normally repeat. So sometimes what will happen when you will normally put any URL of localhost. So in that case, you will have to create a single page of application for to run with the VS Code. Okay, so it's not possible to run directly on any browser without using Fast API if you're not using any application. So for example, any front-end website could be there, and when you are integrating this thing over there, then if you will open that website, it will perform perfectly fine. So just for the use case and telling you how this thing exactly works, I have shown you. So this is a code. Anyways, I'll be sharing the code file with you. Fine. So this has responded with hi, right? So in the end, your final project structure should look like this. The AutoGen, which is the folder, main folder. This is the virtual environment. This is main.py and this is app.py. Okay. So as we come to the final part of this course, I want you to shift your mindset from just learning AutoGen to growing with it. Framework like AutoGen developed by Microsoft evolve rapidly. New features, environment, bug fixes, and integration are constantly being added. If you truly want to stay ahead in AI world, you cannot rely only on recorded tutorials. You need to stay connected to the source. The first and most important habit you should build is regularly visiting the official repo of on Git. The releases section tells you what was changed. The issue tab shows a real world problem developers are facing, and the pull request section, which you might have used, reveals what enhancements are being worked on. So just spending a few minutes there every week will keep you aligned with latest development. So instead of reacting late to updates, you will be aware of them in real time. But staying updated is not just about reading releases notes, it's about being a part of community. So you will see many frameworks have discussion forums, community threads, and sometimes Discord. So ours where developers share idea, ask question, and showcase the project. So when you join these spaces, you start seeing how others are using AutoGen in practical scenarios. You will learn much more than we just discussed. You will learn new workflows, discover optimization, and understand edge cases you might never encounter on your own. So I guess that is all for this video. Please guys pause the video for a while, practices, and for any doubt just ping a comment. So thank you and see you in the next video.